This tea is piping hot, child. Hello, Effects. Welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel. The name is Tani Effect. I hope you're taking care of yourselves and your mental health. As you can tell from the title down below, child, we're going to be talking about some of the things that you should consider before getting married. Baby, let me tell you, having been in that situation, having been married, and now I'm recently widowed, I can guarantee you that these are very, very helpful tips. So please consider these things. I think it's perfectly okay to go seek professional help. It's not a sign of weakness. Take care of yourself and your mental health. That will always be my mantra. Couples therapy before and during. Sorry, I wrote stuff down because I don't want to forget anything, because these are very, very vital tips. I am going to talk about my culture. So I'm from Zimbabwe. Mother is Shona, father is Ndebele. Dad is also Zambian and Malawian. But what I've known and seen is that we have, typically before you get married, you have a family representative. This can be your father's sister or an uncle, whatever the case may be, who is basically like your guide or your advisor before you get married. You go to this person even after you get married. Whenever you have any marital issues or concerns, you go to this person and they basically help you to navigate whatever you may be going through. Or you can have like a church, like a youth pastor that's going to be, helping you with your feelings and talk things through basically with you and your partner. So it's okay to go seek professional help or from family. However, I wanted to say I'm 50-50 with talking to family about this, because I'm like, I don't want family knowing like our deep, darkest secrets. Like some of the things should just remain between myself and my partner, but also they have experience. And also with that, you don't want them to give you advice through their lens, because they have experienced a different life, different from yours. And yeah, just take whatever advice that you're going to get and come back and revisit everything with your partner, because what may necessarily work for them does not work for you. I am currently reading a book by Don Luis Miguel. It's called The 4 Agreements. And the 4th agreement is that you're doing your best. And basically what he was saying is that sometimes your best will not be the next person's best. So again, whatever worked in Tete's life may not necessarily work for you. So at the end of the day, self-introspect, talk to your partner, see what works best for you too. Also, even for your church counselor or youth pastor or guidance counselor, whatever the case may be. Please research your person. Also, when you're getting married, you're not marrying just them. You're marrying into their family. You're marrying that Tete. You're marrying his Naiguru. You're marrying his mother, his father, his sisters, his brothers. You're marrying the whole tribe. Please sit down. If there anything, even you know your family better than the person that's marrying into the family. Please be candid with them. Okay, let them know that, hey, this is what you're up against. If you're uncomfortable with that, let them go. It's okay. I know, yeah. That's the one thing I want you to know. Do not rush into it. Another point, do not rush into it just because you're seeing all your peers getting married. Your time will come. You will rush into it just because you want the glitz and the glam of wedding planning. But baby, what comes after when the dust settles, the fairy dust that they throw in the air, the rice that they throw at you when you're walking outside, when that dust settles, it's going to be you and your partner, just the two of you, and God. Hopefully, I pray God will be in the center of your marriage. Amen. Because it's going to be hard. Marriage is not a game. Marriage is not a joke. There's big dogs, this big boy games. It's not a joke. So learn your partner, learn where they're from, learn their customs, talk about your beliefs, learn their trauma. I think it's very, very important to understand that. I remember watching this video when I was in undergrad. He was Rastafarian, and oh my goodness, he said something that really, really just stuck with me all those years. He said, sometimes you can think that you're talking to a 35-year-old, but you're actually just talking to someone who's 18 in the mind because of the trauma that they faced. The trauma that they faced because they haven't dealt with it, they have stuck at that same age. Do you understand? They are stuck in that phase, in that era, in that trauma, just because they have not dealt with it. So sometimes you may be the person that may bring healing, but also at the same time, You cannot change anybody. They're not going to change until they're ready. But also at the same time, you being around them can be healing, can heal their inner child. If they need help, guide them in a very good manner. Don't be like aggressive with it. Hey, I have noticed that maybe this is triggering for you. Have you considered maybe seeking help with this? Do it lovingly. Always do everything lovingly. Know what triggers them. Trigger words is very important. You don't know what they went through. You're not with them every waking moment of their lives. So know what triggers them, way that you may speak, or maybe your mannerisms with your hands. I know people who may have gone through sexual assault, for example. They need to always see where your hands are. Like, they shouldn't be moving around too much. And also understand that don't be too touchy feely with them. Like, this is a whole other conversation for another day, but like, just things like that. Learn what triggers them before getting married. This is something that I believe everybody should go through. This is very controversial, but also very, very important. Before getting married, see how your partner reacts when they're angry. I recently learned that you can use silence as a tool, and I've just tried to do that in this video. Big purr baby. How they react when they're angry, because it's not going to be rainbows and sunshine every day, babe. You're going to be in situations where you don't necessarily like each other, but you love each other. I'm going to say that one more time. You're not going to like each other every single time. You love each other, but you're not going to like each other every single time. So see how they are when they're angry. See how they are when you're faced with the situation. Always remember that when you have a problem, you want to solve it together. Come together to solve an issue. Don't use it to fight each other. This is very, very important. Yo. Take your time to learn your partner's love language. I know I always preach this. Personally, I want all 5 languages, if not more, because I don't believe it's just the 5 languages that everybody believes. I believe that there are more out there. Learn your partner's love language, because sometimes you can give them love, but it's not necessarily how they want to be loved. So learn their love languages. Learn how they want to receive love. I think it's very, very important to have difficult conversations with your clothes on. Yes, pillow talk is lovely and all, but some conversations you need to be fully clothed. I highly recommend taking walks, because you also don't want to bring that negative energy, especially if you know there's going to be a heated conversation. You don't want to have it in your spaces, like where you sleep, where you eat, where you just relax after a long day, because energy is always going to be there. Burn some sage, honey. Take a walk in the park and talk these things through with your clothes on, of course. It is very, very important for you as a person to self-introspect, and also to know how to communicate your needs effectively, because you find that because your needs are not being met, you may end up feeling like, I'm not being heard in this relationship. But really and truly, babes, have you done the work to know what your needs are? Have you spent some time alone to know what you need? Maybe it's sexually, emotionally, physically, mentally. What is it that you need? Take some time with yourself and learn how to communicate what you need from your partner, what you expect to get out of that relationship. Don't start this marriage with some skeletons in the closet. I understand there's supposed to be some mystery when it comes to certain things, but if it's going to affect your marriage in the long run, let's say it comes out later on in your marriage, I think it's important to have those difficult conversations. Give them the information, and then they can decide whether they want to stay or they love you enough to just be like, hey, I know they're a little cuckoo, but at least they've been open and honest and transparent about whatever it is. Do not be afraid. Your person will definitely understand, and they'll work through those things with you. Definitely. This issue of moving in with each other before marriage, I don't know. In today's economy, I mean, it makes sense. But also, why would I want to move in with you just because of the economy, Like, I will be okay. Sometimes you need your time. You need your space to just know what you like, know how you want your things to be. Because now that you're with someone else, maybe they squeeze toothpaste in a funny way, or they don't put their clothes away after work, and that's gonna piss you off. I know it's like, okay, but once I'm in the marriage, I'm going to see that anyway. But babes, like, I don't know, like, just moving in with each other before the marriage, it just takes away that excitement, in my opinion. It may work differently for different people, man, different strokes for different folks, but for me, I don't know. I'm just 50-50 with that one. I guess I could move in with you if we have set, like, hey, we're getting married in December for sure. Like, we're actually wedding planning and all of that. I could possibly move. But if we're like still dating, like courtship, absolutely not. Cut the cord. Cut the cord. It's even in the Bible. A man will move out of his mother and father's house to go start a new family with another woman, with his woman, not even another woman. Okay? Cut the cord. No, set boundaries with mommy and daddy. Guys, defend your partner like your life depends on it. Because if you allow people, they will disrespect and they'll overstep those boundaries. I'm going to say that one more time. If you do not defend, because you know your people, you know your tribe, okay? It's your job, because you cannot expect me as your woman to come between you and your mother. Absolutely not. You talk to your mom. Give your partner that same grace, Don't complicate life. Cut the cord. I'm going to end this video with 1 Corinthians chapter 7. That's just a beautiful chapter because I love it so much because it touches on family life as a whole. It touches on husband and wife, and it also touches on parents with their children. Should you want children out of your partnership? That's entirely up to you. None of my business. But there's actually a verse that says, parents, do not drive your children to anger because this does not please the Lord. But the one that I want to touch on, it's about intimacy. I know in this day and age, we value consent. Absolutely. Even in marriages, seek consent from your partner. But remember that the Bible actually says the body, this is where I'm like, Hansi, your body does not belong to you. It belongs to your husband. And you, husband, your body does not belong to you. It belongs to your wife. Do not stinge each other, guys. Like that intimacy. I'm not talking just sexual. Intimacy can be us holding hands. It can be us just sitting across from each other like this, looking at each other in the eyes, having those conversations such as, it's sweet me, Intimacy can look very different for a lot of people. So the Bible actually says, do not stop being intimate with one another, because this is actually what pleaseth the Lord. Big shout out to Uncle Mikey, actually is the one who told me about this verse. I had no idea about it. And then we used to do Bible study and we deep dive. Is it dived or dove? I don't know, guys. English is not my first language. But we actually sat down and lamented on that chapter quite a number of times. And yeah, basically, don't stop being intimate with one another. Keep the fire burning. Find out new techniques and new ways in which you can grow your intimacy with one another. Talk about that before getting married. Talk about what that looks like for you. Talk about, that's where, the needs bit comes in that I was talking about earlier. That, hey, be open and honest and transparent about what you want, what you expect out of it, out of your partnership, out of your marriage. Anyway, I hope this video was enjoyable and very useful. I mean, I'm going to be using these and other techniques, child. If you have some other things that you want to add or subtract, let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching.